to haul? That is the question. And this is my second installment. This is a spin-off of the anti-haul movement, and I am using this as a means of, for all the goodness of makeup, new makeup that is coming out, I want to use this to inspire me and to be as a idea generation of shopping my own stash, enjoying my own stash, and even maybe coming up with a dupe palette or two. So for this, every anti-haul that I'm going to put up, or a not to haul, I'm going to give an alternative haul from mostly from my stash this time around. And of course, I want to give a disclaimer. These opinions are my opinions only. They are not hating on these brands. I love these brands that I'm talking about. In fact, I'm in love with most of these brands. Actually, in fact, I'm in love with all of these brands that I'm talking about, but not everything that comes out I'm going to like. And it's a nice way to kind of pull back from the hype, take a look at these new products, see whether they really fit into your makeup, and do a little bit of critical analysis and really see whether you really need this product. If I'm going to add to my stash, I want it to be something a little bit more unique, that is not going to be a repeat of what I have, but something that's going to be unique and an add-on to what I have. Now, just to let you know, I reserve the right to change my mind. So, just so, because don't hold me to all this, okay? I need a little bit of an escape route. So, let's get started. So first on the not to haul list, or the anti-haul list, is my favorite Colorpop Super Shock Shadows, the 50 new Bring Back the Color Super Shock Shadows. Now, listen, if you know me, if you've been following me, and if you don't, please subscribe. You're welcome to jump on this channel and subscribe. I love color. I love my Super Shock Shadows. I love my glitter and Super Shock Shadows. I'm in love with Colorpop, and one of the things that made me fall in love with Colorpop is their Super Shock Shadows. That's one of my favorite products, is Super Shock Shadows. And the lovely thing about Super Shock Shadows is that when they go on the eye, they kind of set on your eyes, so they're a hooded person's friend, because they set and they don't move, and they're beautiful, and they come out. One of my favorites are the metallics and the ultra glitters. So I have a good amount of them. And with that, you know, it was such a temptation, these 50 new colors, because I love color. Some of them are re-releases, but most of them are new. And of course, I love color, so this was a great temptation to me. But then I had to pull back, and the hilarious thing is that they sent out an email, and the email gave a chart, and the chart said, here's the chart. And the chart said, this was, I guess, an easy way for you to go, well, if you already like this, you will like this new color. However, so the chart said, if you like bubbly, you will like Twitter padded. If you like slave to pink, you will like don't leave. And so on. But I thought to myself, girl, hold back, hold up a second. Those if you likes, which is code for if you have, I have. So I thought to myself, girl, you need to rewrite that chart. So I rewrote that chart to help me to pull back from getting those colors, because I don't need them. I already have them. So I rewrote the chart as, if I have bubbly, I don't need Twitter padded. I have slave to pink. I do not need don't leave. See where I'm going with this? I have, let me see here. I have as you wave, I don't need sidekick. I have flipper. I don't need I like you. And And lastly, now this is a edited down version because I have a lot more in this chart, okay? I have Banana Daiquiri and a Flower Shop. I don't need Snapdragon and Zoom Ship. I rest my case. Next up in Not to Haul is the Mother Load, the mother of glow. I call NATASHA DENONA the queen of glow. I call Pat McGrath the mother of glow. And this is the Mother Load of Mothership 4 Decadence. Now, this palette is gorgeous, extraterrestrial, super galactic, metallic amazingness, and super galactic, out of this world, expensive at the US $125 and Canadian, get this, $170. Well, this is not quite in my budget right now, not in my planetary, it is not in my planetary solar system to go and purchase this, though I can appreciate the beauty of it. She does incredibly glowy metallics, and I've seen it swatched against Kevin Aucoin's Electric Pop palette. Now, I consider Kevin Aucoin as the in between a high-end and a luxury, whereas I feel Pat McGrath is luxury. They share about 4 or 5 shadows that are very similar together, and they're both metallic, very jewel-toned eyeshadows, and the similar colors swatched together look almost alike, but if you look a little closer and you have a little bit more critical eye, you'll see that the Mothership is just glowing and has more iridescence and glow than even Kevin Aucoin's. And Kevin Aucoin's looks damn good. It swatches amazing, but the Mothership just has that edge. It's a neat way to compare. So now, of course, that is right up my alley, but I have to kind of pull back, slow my roll. It's just not in my, as I said, not in my solar system to get it. However, if it was in my solar system again, I would actually prefer the Mothership 3 palette, which is the Subversive palette. That is more my speed because it has the duochromes that I'm really, really in love with, and she does duochromes amazingly well, and that would be more my thing. In fact, there's a number of people that were a little bit disappointed because it didn't have those duochromes in this palette. And funny enough, I could see that it didn't, that it was all metallic. So even if I did have that money to do splurge like that, I wouldn't have gotten that one. I would have first have gotten the Subversive, the Mothership 3. That is like top on my list. And then if I had all this extra money, I would then go with Mothership 4. I would do that. But in any case, that is not even in my realm. But what is in my realm, I can again apply the Super Shock chart to this application too, because when I looked at those colors, those shades closely, I'm going, wait up, hold up. I actually have those in the Super Shock form. What? And they only cost me $5, okay? That's not gonna add up to $170, so let me tell you. So I can apply the same Colorpop chart to it, so let's go and apply this, okay? I forgot to take the covers off. So, I have Telepathy. I do not need Gold Standard. I have Baby Kittens and Fooling Around. I do not need Blue Blood nor Hedonistic. I have Luckfully and Too Shy. I do not need Underworld and Lapis Luxury. You see where I'm going with this? These are beautiful, only $5. I do not need that palette. Next, not to haul or anti-haul is KRISTEN Leanne's collab with Urban Decay, the Kaleidoscope Dream Palette. Now, again, that palette is all up my alley in color, even in finish, and in duochrome. They have a centered duochrome circle in there with 2 duochromes in it. And listen, this is, again, my aesthetic. The only thing is, everybody's complaining about the jumble, you know, of the shadow placements all haphazardly. I actually don't have a problem with it, but if I kind of squint at it sideways, or rather even align it sideways, what do you think it kind of looks like? It actually kind of looks like the collab that Urban Decay did in the summertime with Basquiat, the Basquiat Tenant palette. Don't you think? I think they look alike. You got the lime greens, you got the oranges, you got the blue, you got the purple, you got the two blues. It pretty much, a lot of the shadows look very much the same as the Basquiat. The only difference is that KRISTEN LEANNE's is more of a pumped up, glistened up, glowed up version because they're all more metallics and more glitterier colors, shinier colors, whereas Basquiat's was more of a matte formula. It's as if they took the Basquiat palette and kind of like put it on glittery steroids and gave you some duochromes to go with it. Well, I have to pull back from it because number one, I also am allergic to Urban Decay's formula, unfortunately, because their aesthetic and their colors and what they come out with is actually my jam, but unfortunately I can't ride with that jam, which probably keeps me in check because pretty much all of the stuff they come out with eyeshadow form, as long as it's not the nakeds and the nudes, I'm all for. But then when I looked at it, even squinted at it a little harder, I thought, you know what? Those are very kind of almost common colors, and I'm going, what the heck does it remind me of? I know, it reminds me of the Sephora Pro's Editorial palette. This one here, it's got the same colors, the lime green, the purple, the blue, the, you know, it's the pinks. It even has the duochrome highlighter rows here, and in fact, more of them. You can use them as highlighters, you can use them as brow bone highlighters, you can use them as toppers, the same with KRISTEN LEANNE's The Center highlighter shades. So it's all here except multiplied. The other thing is I thought, wait a second, I could probably build that palette myself if I wanted that edited version of the Sephora Pro Editorial palette. And so I thought, why not just do it? So the top row here is the edited version of the Sephora Pro palette, or basically KRISTEN LEANNE's Urban Decay palette right here. You got the yellow, you got the pink, you got the bright orange, you got the lime green, you got the purples, and you got your blues here. This is a mixture of Coastal Scents, Makeup Geek, and what's the other one? Morphe brushes. And Morphe brushes is like $2.99. Coastal Scents is $1.98 if when not on sale, and I always buy them on sale for 98 cents. And then Makeup Geeks are only $6. So if you do this, it's not going to be that expensive. And I've got it right here. So if I'm feeling a KRISTEN LEANNE feel, I can just pop this palette out and enjoy it. If you want me to do a separate video on how you can dupe it, of course, it's not exactly the same finishes, but you are going to get the same look and effect on the eye, unless the finish is so spectacular that I absolutely really am jonesing for it, because a lot of times those things when applied on the eye, and these perform very well, will look pretty much the same as with the KRISTEN LEANNE one. So I'm fine, don't need it. I've already found my alternatives right here. Next, not to haul or anti-haul, is the Kiley Blue Honey palette. Now, this I kind of like. I like the flavor of it. No pun intended. I like the kind of oranginess, the yellowness. It's got a golden in it. It's got the teal. They're actually, it kind of reminds me of two palettes. One of them is the Kathleen Lights Colorpop collab. The blues in this, the Honey palette, is greener, but it's bluer than the other collab palette, which is the Jaclyn Hill palette. Now, listen, if you have the Jaclyn Hill palette, which I do, you don't really need the Blue Honey palette. Yes, the blues in here are more of a greeny teal blue. So Kylie's smart because she's tweaked the colors a bit so that the oranges, they're more yellow orange than Kathleen Light's palette and more yellow than the Jaclyn Hill, and the blues in that are more teal or greener than Kathleen Light's but more bluer than the Jaclyn Hill. So she's kind of smart because she played it right in the middle. But if you got this palette, looky here, you don't really need the Kylie palette because guess what? The colors are all here. They're here and here. Let me just show you. I got it right on my arm right here. That is basically the Blue Honey palette in a nutshell. But as you can see, these are a little bit more greener. This is a little bit more more of a champagne as opposed to a golden. But once you get it on the eye, it kind of looks the same. It gives a similar feel, a similar aesthetic as the Blue Honey palette, and it's all here. And then you get all the extra colors in the Jaclyn Hill palette. And the thing is, a whole bunch of people have this palette already. Next up is the Too Faced Life is a Festival collection, or rather, the Unicorn Exploded collection. Again, I'm all about the glitter. I'm all about the duochrome. This would be all up my alley, though it's a little bit saccharine. It's still fun. We're looking forward to festival season, and this is all about it. However, I'm only gonna touch on 3 things, okay? Because otherwise it's gonna be too much. So first up is the Magic Rainbow Strobing Brush. Okay. Guess what? Yes, it's all rainbow hairs. It's supposed to be used as a strobing brush. I'm like, do I really need to have rainbows? I don't need to have a rainbow brush for $32. No, it's actually $34, and that is US. That's a lot for just to put highlighter on your face. Not only that, when I looked at the description, I had to look at it a couple of times, do my proper investigative reporting here, because the first time around I actually didn't believe what I was reading, so I had to go back at it another day and go, wait a second, is this for real? So guess what it's made of? Teddy bear hair. Teddy bear hair? Okay. I mean, okay, that's going a little bit much. And to be honest with you, first of all, I already have a lovely little brush here. It doesn't have to be rainbow. It's a dual fiber, not very expensive. Got it in an Ipsy bag. Do not need to pay for teddy bear hair brushes. I don't know where this teddy bear is coming from. And listen, if I want a teddy bear, I got a real live one. I don't need it in a rainbow unicorn exploded thing. I call him my teddy bear. He's my little Reuben, my rainbow teddy bear. He's my cat, and he just looks like a big stuffed little animal come to life. Let me go get him because I call him, he's nicknamed my little teddy bear. My teddy bear. I also call him my sleepy bear. Look at him. Now he's giving the wild animal look, like he's not happy. Usually he has this beautiful, sweet face. When I was very, very, very sick, he would come in the middle of the night and come into bed with me and lie down beside me as if he was like my nursemaid. And he did that every night when I was very, very, very sick. And so he's my little nursemaid teddy bear. So this is all I need for a teddy bear. Next up is the Life is a Festival. Let me see what it's called. Peace, Love, Unicorn eyeshadow palette. Okay, it's totally the 60s, it's totally the hippie thing, and I actually do love the aesthetic of this palette because there's going to be a lot of duochromes in here. I'm sure if I see the swatches, I'll probably change my mind, but as it is, I don't really need it. I really, really don't. If I want my duochromes, I have a whole bunch of... I got my Sephora Pro Editorial palette once again. It's got the duochromes on the top. I've got all this. I got my Super Shock shadows to give me my little needs for glitter and glow. I don't need this palette, but I reserve the right to change my mind. Then the final thing in this collection is, oh my goodness, this is a little bit crazy. This one's a little bit crazy. It's called the Unicorn Horn Mystical Effects Highlighting Sticks. Okay, this one is definitely horny. A little bit too horny for me. It's a little too phallic. I don't think I need that on, I don't need it on my face. I don't want it on my face. Again, it's getting a little bit too much and out of hand. I am fine. I have a whole bunch of colorful highlighters. In fact, it is my aesthetic to have colored highlighters, but I got enough of them. I don't need to binge on colored highlighters, certainly not horny ones. So I've got the MAC one, which is called, what is Snow Gold. I got this. Again, I'm beating a dead horse. Sorry, I don't mean you unicorn, but I got the highlighters in here. They're colored highlighters. I got the golden one. I got the pink one. I think this is a blue-green one. I got the purple one. I've got Kat Von D's highlighters. I find they suit me better, the colored highlighters, as opposed to more like champagnes and stuff like that. You got the ultraviolet, you got the pink, you got the green, you got the blue. On top of that, I've got the Give Me More Colorpop palette of highlighters. This is more of a golden, orangey, peachy effect. I'm set. Don't need unicorn horns on my face. I'm fine. I can live without it. And finally, the mother lode of the not to haul or anti-haul is Too Faced went a little too far with this one. I thought he went too far. They went too far with the unicorn horn highlighter. This has gone even farther, and that is the hold on, let me call it the right thing. Glow Job Radiance Boosting Glitter Face Mask. You heard me right. Glow Job. Yes. That is just rude, crude. It's gone too far. The pun has gone too far. I would not have any of my young peeps, tweens, teenagers coming home with that thing, okay? It's not happening. It is not going to happen. It is not entering the home. It is not entering the house. It's too much. And Too Faced, you market to a full range of consumers, including tweens and teenagers, and as much as I love you, I think this is too much. I was in Sephora during the Halloween season, and I don't even work there, and I actually helped sell to a mother the Too Faced Boss Lady Agenda palette for her tween daughter, because they could use it for the Halloween, and then she would absolutely love it as her palette, and she can use the agenda and everything. So the mother was totally sold on it, and I helped to sell her, and it was really a fun time, not knowing that this type of mask was coming out. And you see, you're dealing with young people, tweens, teenagers. I don't think this is the kind of message that companies that have such an influential, you have influence with your consumer. I know you want to have a bit of shock value or be edgy, but I don't think this is the way to go about doing it. Seriously, I think this is a wrong message to be sending to young people. Also, when I looked at the ingredients, as fun as it looks, I mean, glitter on the face, you know me, I'm all about glitter, I'm all about glow, and I also believe in using skincare products that are going to give you that glow, which I think is important to kind of renew your skin cells cells and get it moving and that glow factor coming on. However, this is marketed as glow, but a lot of that glow is the glitter, and I wouldn't want to put that on my face because I'm concerned about, I'd be concerned about taking out my eye or scratching my face. I find it a very, getting beyond the name of it, I'm finding it a very superficial mask as opposed to an actual mask that would actually work to give you that glow. I looked at the ingredient list, and the second ingredient on the list is polyvinyl alcohol, and that is used in eye drops. Why it's used in the mask is that it creates that kind of plasticky feel so that you can peel it off. It allows you to peel off the mask. It's not really skin beneficial as far as I know. The third ingredient in that, which is high on the list, is denatured alcohol, which is not good for the skin. This is not what you want in a mask. You're leaving this mask on for 10-20 minutes. That is going to dry up your skin cells. It ages your skin cells. Not something that should be in any mask at all, far less any skincare. So that's a big no-no. And on top of that, finally you get to the fourth ingredient, and that is what is going to give you the glow, which is an apple fruit extract. So that is a fruit enzyme which is going to help chew up the old skin cells, that dead horny skin cells, and get rid of it and bring on the new skin cells and give you that glow. So finally you get to the fourth ingredient, but you're dealing with the alcohol over it. Now, yes, some companies say that it helps to make the product penetrate, but why would you want to make it penetrate and dry out your skin at the same time when it's sitting on your skin to get the apple fruit? So you're trying to get the glow, but you're drying and killing your skin cells at the same time. All that new skin cell that wants to come up, you're killing it. Not a good mix. Finally, much lower down on the list. When you get low in the ingredient list, then it becomes more of a sprinkling effect of active ingredients that don't do much because they're too low on the list. It's kind of like, okay, fairy dust, let's put a little bit of fairy dust, make it look like it's good. So lower down on the list, much lower, you get 2 algae oils. They are very obscure oils. If you look it up on the internet, Google hasn't even figured out what they are yet. It took me a long time to find out that these oils are algae oils. That's Dicrateria rotunda oil and Rutnera lamellosa oil. They're so obscure that it took me a long time to find out that they were algae oils, and I don't know, you can't get any more information than that on it. Maybe Too Faced is ahead of the game and Google's still trying to catch up with this information, but it's very low on the list, so it's not going to be that effective. And also, even lower on the list, you've got sodium ascorbate, which is a vitamin C. It's going to help brighten, but it's so low on the list, and it's not ascorbic acid, which is the one that's going to be very effective. This is a derivative. It's not as effective, and it's super low on the list, so it's not going to do much of anything. And then you've got rosehip oil, which is a natural form of vitamin A, which is like retinol, retin A, and that's not going to do that much because it's so low down on the list of ingredients, so it's more like the sprinkling effect. So with that, I don't find it even an effective mask. However, if you want an effective mask, one that I find is a great alternative, if you look at the ingredient profile, the thing is done very well, and that is Peter Thomas Roth pumpkin enzyme mask. I'm reading the ingredients here because it's a lot to remember, okay? So the main ingredients, and they're high on the list, and it's a very short list of ingredients. It's not a long list like the Glow Job. Most of these active ingredients are high up on the list of ingredients, and that is pumpkin enzyme, which of course is a natural enzyme which is going to chew up the horny layers of the skin and allow for the new regenerative layers of new skin to come up. Ascorbic acid, which is the top of the line, vitamin C in this, and it's high up on the list. And next is vitamin E in the form of tocopherol acetate, and then vitamin A in the form of retinol palmitate. And again, those are high up on the list, so they're going to be effective in the mask, and they're going to do the job that you want it to do, and you're going to get the glow. So it's about the same price, and as far as I'm concerned, you're going to get more effect from the pumpkin mask, and on top of that, it does have some kind of grainy particles around, which you use to kind of scrub your face to begin with, and then you let it sit. So it's a dual purpose mask. It's going to get the job done. Yes, it's not that pretty, it's not that fun and glitter, but I'd rather rub my face with that than get scratched up with glitter. Probably it wouldn't scratch you up. I don't think they would make, but it's that glitter scares me. I'm scared of that, which I'm not scared of the pumpkin enzyme mask. So that's a great alternative, and it doesn't have, you know, crude names. So I hope you enjoyed my second installment of my tall or not to haul, that is the question series. And I hope this gives you great ideas to take all that new fun makeup that's coming down the line and maybe see what, you know, instead of using it as hype for you to buy it, see whether using it as inspiration and idea generation to enjoy your own stash. For me, I do have a decent amount, and as much as it's so much fun to look at all this makeup and want to, you know, get it, it's also a nice way to look at it and see how I can use my own stash in new and more inventive ways, or change the colors around, or take my singles and dupe a palette out. So use it as inspiration and idea generation instead, and instead of following all the hype with it and then finding out when you get it you don't even like it because it doesn't even go with your skin tone, or it doesn't even go with the kind of aesthetic that you like, or you take it home and you realize, you know what, I already got this stuff in like 4 different palettes. Yes, slightly rearranged, but still I got it. This is a way to kind of slow your roll and maybe just enjoy your own stash and use it as inspiration. If you did enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up, like and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to keep up with all my videos, and don't forget to hit the bell notification button so that you will be notified when I have a new video up. That's a long way of saying so that you will know when I upload. And just remember, rock your own kind of beauty and keep on going and keep on glowing. I will